Welcome to Julie, the Thrifty Designer. Now I'm going to show you my next step in what I'm doing here in my kitchen. I'm going to put in a new backsplash, so stay tuned and see what I'm going to do. Okay guys, I'm just showing you my kitchen here. You've seen it in many of my decorating things on how I've done things. And I just simply have the wall painted. My husband and I put in the counter, but we never put a backsplash in. It's been this way for 15 years. But I know I need to finish it. Someone told me that for selling of a house, you really need to have at least the little backsplash, at least this high on here. And so we're gonna put one in so I can sell the house. But I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna use. And actually, what I'm gonna use is this aluminum flashing. It was like $23 for this roll. And I'm gonna show you what it already looks like. Alright, I know my counter over here is all piled up with things. This is by my stove, and we've got tools and everything's set over here. But we did manage to get the aluminum in. Right, I need to clean it. The whole house needs to be cleaned. But we did put it in over here. So there is what it looks. I still need to caulk it in. We never caulked it in. But we need to caulk it in. My husband and I did that a few years ago and never finished it either. But it gives it a nice stainless steel back, and I think it's going to look really finished and sharp when I get done. So, as you can see, this is what we're going to start with, and I'm going to show you a little bit when we get going on it. My sister is going to help me do this. Alright, what we're doing is making a tin plate. We just have some freezer paper, and we're just cutting it into the shape of the wall here, and that way we can tape it all together, and then when we lay out the aluminum here, we'll have to take it outside probably so we don't scratch the floor when we cut it, but then we'll have the template of it and we can cut it out hopefully all in one roll. It's worth trying. Alright, we almost have the backsplash template in. We just have a little spot here to do. Took all the stuff out the window. I'm not a minimalist, but I'm thinking, wow, look at that white backsplash and nothing in the window. I need to clean everything, but holy moly, I can't believe how much brighter and happier that really looks. I hope the aluminum thing we're putting on there will actually look just as clean and nice, because that's what's coming in, but I sure like how it looks. Alright, now we've taken our tin plate and we brought it out on the front porch, because today is raining, of course, but we brought it on the front porch here, and we're laying the tin plate down, and now we have a knife that we can cut through this aluminum metal here, and we also have a pair of scissors that might cut it too. There we go. There's a sharp edge though, be careful. Oh, that was really sharp.
I know, that's why I
got the gloves. Good idea. Got a little gloves there for working with metal, and we want to be very careful with that.
That's where I started cutting it with the scissors.
Oh, and it didn't really work? So it was better with the...
smoother.
Okay, so it's better to use one of those knives right there, a utility knife, a good sharp one, than it is to use the scissors. And we bought those scissors just to give it a try, because sometimes it's nice to just cut with scissors, but as you can see, I'll get close, and you can see how rough the edge is right there versus how the utility knife just cut it much smoother. So we'll line the whole thing up completely on here, and the bottom edge here, this is the bottom edge that goes against the counter, so we'll just line this completely up with it right here, so we have a factory edge, so that'll rest against the counters, and that'll be very nice. And then the rest of this, we'll just tape it. Whoops, that's backwards. Okay, but I bet it'll work like
if
that.
If we turn it over, we can actually use the same tape that we have.
Well, we could, except for this edge is not as nice as that
It
is.
still would be.
Oh, well,
same
okay.
way.
Yeah, never mind. My brain is still working about how to do this. All the things us women have to figure out when we don't have our men around anymore. Keep yelling at my husband, why did you leave me with this mess?
I had to do this on my own anyway.
Well, that's true. My sister's good at doing all of this.
I had to do it myself anyway.
So she's already learned all of this, but me, I was always the hand him the tools, or whoever's doing the main job. I always handed them the tools. Or I was the gopher. I went to the store and bought what needed. Or I'd hold it in place while they screwed it into place, or whatever it was they did. But I was the one that just helped. I didn't do it. So anyway, so here is what we have started. Okay, what we did was we scored out there the openings when we did the template where the electrical things are. And now what we're doing is we scored them, but now we're trimming it to make sure when we put it in place, it's actually in place. And then we're just bending them up so they're very sharp right here. That's a sharp, sharp, sharp edge. But once she gets that totally cut, we can then bend it and push them into place, and then we can trim from there what we need it to do. But look at it, guys. It's starting to take shape. I mean, we don't have it in place by any means. But see, we took the template off of it, and it's really looking pretty sharp. It gives it a nice little more modern day look. And see, it's underneath though is the problem, Gemma.
I see.
It's up here. We have little areas right here that seems to be a lot making it pucker. So we're gonna have to trim.
That's because that one cabinet is right against the wall where the rest of it isn't.
Ah, and over there too. It's the things that we used to nail it with, you know, to hold them up
The
with.
only one that's
No, that one too. Oh, okay. I got you.
it's just
So we need to trim this one right here. So
Just
we
that
need
one right there.
we need to just make a cut down on it. Want me to pull this forward?
no. Where'd the marker? Well,
I think. Did you bring it in?
yeah.
Okay. Anyway. All right, we've gotten it into this point, but for some reason we just can't seem to get rid of the buckle. And we're just trying to figure out what's causing the actual buckle. And we're both getting really tired for tonight. I was hoping to have this uploaded by tonight for y'all, but I guess it's gonna be after tomorrow or maybe even Wednesday before you see this. But see, you can see the buckle. And of course, we haven't put any glue in yet because we're still trying to work on fitting it. But we've been at this all day, and we thought this was gonna be very simple. And it is. It's just, we're just trying to figure out what the tweaking is
We're
we need to do.
amateurs.
We're amateurs, exactly. So we're just trying to tweak what it is that we haven't done right, and we're just not quite sure what it is. So we have another day of working on this, and then I'll send it to you to let y'all see the idea. But isn't that looking sharp? You know, the buckle looks kind of cool in the camera.
Yeah, we don't want the buckle.
But in person, that doesn't look cool. And of course, we don't have the holes cut out for the electric plugs like they're supposed to be. But we're waiting till we figure out how to get it so we can get it to lay flat before we tweak those cutouts. Because if we cut them wrong now and it turns out when we get it to lay flat that they're off, then we have a problem. So we're just waiting until we can get that tweaked. So anyway, here's how it looks for now. All right, I forgot to show you as we were trying to put it in. And we have actually just too many built-in wrinkles. And you can kind of see things like that. And I don't think there's anything we can do. So what we used was liquid nails. And we squirted it all over the wall. And we used one of these trawls and we trawled it all over. But with the constant trying to fit it, make sure we cut everything out right, and putting it back, we have just managed to bend it up. So for a non-professional thing, this didn't turn out to be as good as we had hoped. I mean, it looks fine, except for you can see all the bends and the wrinkles in it. But it does look pretty neat having the stainless steel back like that. All our tools are in the way, so you don't see how beautiful it really is going to be. And then we cut out for the plug, but we forgot to cut out for the screw. So now we have to figure out how to put a screw in here, and it's already into place. So we've either got to figure out how to cut this out some more or figure out how to punch a hole through right where it's going to be.
That's what I'm going to do.
We were ding-dongs at trying to figure out what we're doing here. But we're not professionals. We're very much an amateur.
That's for sure.
But we have some finish edging here, which is like a grooved thing. It fits inside, and yet the back of it glues on the back, and it gives a nice finished edge, no sharp edge to get caught on. And I got to paint still. I had plants in the windows and they really ruined that. But see over here, it just gives it a nice finished look. And then I bought caulking, so we'll fill in here where we miscut just a little bit, and that should disappear. And then of course we'll caulk right along in here and make it nice, but I just don't know what we can do to get rid of the wrinkles. And the camera's not showing the wrinkles as much as you can see it in person.
Maybe take it and go just shoot from that angle.
Let's see what it does.
And just get it back here. From there, getting it back here.
Well, you can see, really I think a lot of the wrinkles is because there was paint underneath here that's dried underneath this.
And we thought it was fitting better.
And we thought it was fitting better than it was, which caused wrinkles there. And then you can see the little ding marks and stuff here and there. But I guess it's as good as it's gonna get for us. Yeah, you can see, like you can really see this one right here.
And this one right.
Yeah, and you can really see that one. That's the one you really can see.
Both of those.
Uh-huh.
Those are the worst.
Those are the worst. The others are just kind of wrinkle looking, where those look like actual dings. And I just don't know if there's anything we can do to pound those out or anything, you know, it just doesn't, I don't know.
I can put a towel over it and just kind of.
How about a towel and a flat board? You know, that might just keep it flat. I don't know, it's worth trying. We'll see what we'll come up with. All right, I went to get some stainless steel plug covers, and they didn't have that one, and that's not fitting up right. What happened here? You have to back out the screws.
Yep.
Anyway, I couldn't find any that would fit this in the stainless steel, so I just used the plastic ones we had, and I bought some spray paint, and I think it matches pretty nicely. Yeah, we're gonna have to pull those out quite a bit. I wonder how it used to fit. I mean, that stainless steel is that backsplash is that much too thick.
Maybe I just have it at an angle too much right there.
Well, we're still fighting with trying to get all of these on. But we'll eventually get it. We changed we also changed to a GFI, but we don't have it working right. But I do have a friend of mine that is an electrician. And so I'm going to see if I can get him to come see what we did wrong. Kind of crazy in a way, you know. So anyway, stay tuned. All right. Well, as you can see outside, it's actually gotten dark. We've been working on this all day, been smoothing it out. And unfortunately, the little different dings and dents, we just can't get them out. They're in there. But I'm going to tell you what I did to make it so it softened the look. Because this metal is very, very, very shiny. And it actually was way more shiny than what it is on the refrigerator. And I don't know if you can see the difference. Yes, you can see the reflection of me, you know, but there's like a shininess. It's a different type of shiny. So what I did was I took one of these sponges, this type of sponge, and I'm gonna now go up and down just like this. Okay, and I know it's scratching the surface, and I'm doing it on purpose because actually I kind of found that this helps make it a little bit of the look. You can see the black that come off on it. Let me get my drying towel and dry it, and let's see what we come up with. Now maybe I scratched it too much. Oh dear. But this is not a lot of scratching, and I figure we'd just work on it and it will create this stainless steel feel instead of just an aluminum backing. So I'm going to continue. I'm not putting a lot of pressure. And this one's a tiny bit older of a scrubber. It's not a fresh one, although it's not super old. And what this is doing is creating a little bit of a texture on here, which I believe is kind of taking down some of our imperfections and hopefully not making it look worse. And to the naked eye, the camera I don't think picks up the imperfections like the naked eye does. We can see in depth where the camera doesn't. But I think what it's doing is actually making it so it's not quite so shiny that causes you to really see the wrinkles. So I don't know, can you see the difference? It's still got a shine, and I think over there it has improved it so the wrinkles aren't quite as obvious. So I'm going to finish doing what I just showed you, and then I'm going to show you with the caulking technique that I have recently learned. Alrighty, here we go. This is painter's tape, and I saw this tip on YouTube with a guy that does amazing countertops with epoxy. And after he gets done, he tapes it off like this when it's all made, and this is what he does to caulk it. He just takes it and you just space it away from each other as far as you want that wide gap to be. And I might have it a little wider than it needs to be right there, but it certainly won't hurt. It'll look good. And so you just caulk it, and let's see how that's going to turn out. Okay, I'm just showing in case some of you have never done anything like this before. But what I did was bought in a soft gray, a silicone, 100% waterproof. And it's a caulking gun, and you put it in and you open the tip just a small amount. And on caulking guns, there is this fun little tool right here. That is for poking a hole inside of this. And then this is how you spring it open and spring it closed. And so you just kind of go like this. I'm not sure if I can do it, And you put it here and you start pumping it and it will come out. See how it's starting to come out a little bit? Well, I don't really need more. To stop it, you push that and it will stop it from coming out. And that's a nice, wonderful thing. So then from there, now you can glove your finger or you can just get a sponge and you take your finger and you just go right across like this. And this will smooth it out and create the filling in. going to wipe my finger on this at the moment. Let me bring it with me as I go. Now my faucet here is in the way, but we'll just continue like this. And we're just going to spread it out. And see why I have taped it off? Because I'm not very good at keeping it as smooth as can be. I'm just not good at that. And then we'll just go back over it again. There's like a little low spot right here. So I'm just gonna fill it in. Uh-oh, it's not sticking very well. And I know I have a lot of caulking right here left over. We're gonna fill in right here. Oh, that is just, it is the, my glue has failed gluing the thing to the wall there. That's not gonna be good. So, and I have a whole lot more still over here because I showed you how to put on. So, let's just fill in more right here. And then we'll here after a while, well, maybe there's enough going up underneath it. It'll help make it stick. We'll work on that. But I'm spending too much time here on that at the moment. But I'll get back to that. Trust me, I will. And then just a simple finger going across like that. All right, as you can see, I've got it all filled in. But here is the magic. Pull it away. And that mess just kind of comes off. Whoop. As long as you don't hit your upper cabinets with it and make this kind of a mess. Guess maybe you should take it off in pieces. I'm not a pro. I'm playing, and this is stuff I saw on a TV show. And then we'll just wind it and we'll get that. Probably be easier to wait till that almost dries just to scrape it off. Look at there. I know I made a big mess with other things. Look at that. Oh, what a mess I am. I am. I'll get that cleaned up later. But it's hard to do with one hand also. So I will clean all of that up and I will take the rest of the tape off and show you the nice clean line. Alrighty, I didn't quite get my tape quite as straight as I thought it should be, and I'm a little bit higher in some spots, but for the most part, there it is. And I think I got too light of caulking. I probably should have done a darker one, but we'll see if this dries darker and will look good and blend. Now right here was where that was buckling, and it had gotten just enough caulk to go up underneath there that I was able to flatten that out. Now this, I did have to use my finger on it, and I've been cleaning it up, trying to make it look a little bit better. But that little tape tip, I think, is pretty neat. But note to self, next time you caulk something with silicone, wear gloves, because it's gonna be a pain getting that off. But see, look how nice it is now. It's a lot more watertight. I see it's kind of lifted right here. Maybe I need to figure out something there. I might have to run my finger there and mess it up a little bit, but it needs to be on the countertop, which doesn't seem to be actually on the countertop. So let's see what I have to do there. Like I said, I'm not a professional by any means, but at least it's on the counter a little bit better. I think it looks a little bit nicer. It's not a professional caulk job. My husband, boy, he could have laid that bead down, didn't need the tape, and it would have looked better than this. Boy, I miss him so much. Oh boy, sorry, I'm about ready to lose it because I realize I never did stuff like this. He did. I handed him the caulking tube, okay? You know, I opened it up and I got it prepped and ready for him, maybe on stuff, but He's the one that did all of this. It's a learning curve now. But anyway, and he'd have probably chose a different color caulking because he'd have probably known that that one's probably a little too light. So I don't know. I'm not sure if I like that light color. I thought it maybe would blend with the stainless steel and just kind of look like an extension of the stainless steel. But we'll see how it dries. I'll see what I think of it in the morning. If not, I might be taping it again and going and getting a darker caulking and just to make it look a little bit nicer, because I don't know that I like that. It doesn't look hideous because it is a white kitchen, you know, so maybe it will look okay, but it's probably good enough, really, because the kitchen is starting to take shape. So now I got you see all my stuff on the floor from all of this. But remember, I put that windows things in there, which gave it a clean look, but it has a slight tinge of cloudiness of gray. And I thought, hey, it just kind of pulls right in with that. And I think it's starting to look good. Now, I think, I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but by me roughing up the surface of the stainless steel that I put in, which actually was just aluminum roofing material, it literally, I thought, made the wrinkles not show quite as bad. I think it looks okay now. It's not great, but it is much, much better. I like it better than it used to be anyway. Looks nice, I think, anyway. As good as I can get it anyway, for not being a pro and just kind of pulling it together. I like it. Well, guys, I'm not a professional. I'm far from it. My husband did all of this, and I used to watch him do it and hand him tools or whatever he needed me to do. So at least I have some idea of what to do on some of these things. I'm not totally blind at not understanding the process, but I've never had to do it. So I think I'm pretty proud of myself for what I have been doing all by myself, or with my sister's case here helping me. But with like the caulking, I never did that myself. And it's my first attempt at it. And for me, I don't think it's that bad. It's not great, not like a professional would have it do, but everyone's got to have a learning curve somewhere. So that's where I am. So I hope you guys have enjoyed me trying to make my backsplash so much nicer. I don't like how it wrinkled, and I don't like how it creased in places, and that was with us trying to put it on and take it back off and put it back on, trying to fit everything. And we got a little overzealous, I guess, at sticking it in and out, and it caused a lot of crinkling and wrinkling, and we just, once the metal is crinkled, that's the way it is, you know? So it just didn't quite turn out as well as I wanted, but I thought by brushing it like I did with the pad on whatever you call the sponge Brillo part of it, you know, the green scrubby part, by kind of scuffing it up with it, I think it really did help make it look more like stainless steel, and it took down the highs and the lows of the shine and the duller looking that the all the crinkling and stuff did on there. So I think it really did create a better feel, so it doesn't look quite as noticeable, at least to me anyway. So I hope it gave you some ideas on if you ever wanted to do it. And maybe you have a handyman husband still, or somebody you know, or maybe you yourself is just handyman and you say, hey, I'd never thought of that. And you could do a much better job, I'm sure. So anyway, guys, I hope it gives you some great ideas that you can maybe do in your own home. And so I just want to say again, thank you for all your love, support, and prayers. And it's what's helping getting me through. Oh, this is a tough, tough time. Especially when you're doing stuff knowing your husband just could do it and you just don't know really how. And you're trying your best. So I don't think it's that bad considering. So anyway, thank you guys so much for your prayers, support, and love. And thank you for watching. And you all take care, and God bless, and happy decorating and remodeling and whatever. So till we see you again on another video, you take care now, and God bless. Loves y'all.